Chronicle podcast. This is Samuel Lion. It's another exciting episode for me. This one is a special one for me because right now the next guest joining me is someone that you'll be seeing his face often here on the channel, and this is me clearly announcing that coming on here for helLOMedia is the man behind Up the Show podcast, one of the premier podcasts that will be showing here on the channel every week. We'll try and bring an episode here live every week for you. Bring an episode. He's been doing a great job. I love the fact that this was able to come together a year, and so this has been, to me, I feel like this has been 1 year and a couple of months. This has been, it has taken 1 year and a couple of months to get this done, and I'm so excited to get to talk to him in this space, because now that we've started branching out to try new ideas, to try new concepts in bringing more entertainment to this hub, helLOMedia, and shout out to our collaborators, Sports Jedi Network, for the incredible opportunity to be a part of that network, and the support, the advice from Sakev, Chris, and the crew there at Sports Jedi Network for everything they've been able to do to support me in making sure that I grow. Shout out to all the people that I've been able to connect with. I can't wait to work with every single person. But just like I said, this next guest is the one I'm excited to. So joining me from Up the Show podcast, also a member of the Gen Z podcast, make welcome a digital creator himself, Zek Miles. Zek Miles, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
I met you through someone, and we had a conversation, our first conversation, that was a year ago, a year and some months ago, and we talked about who you are, what you want to pursue in life, and like we had, if it was supposed to be like a 20-minute, like let's just meet up, let's talk, and we ended up staying there for like 2 hours. We were just there to talk shopping and all of that, and I'm always one of those ones that I always ask myself, like, what do I want to learn from this particular from every situation. I learned so much from my conversation with you, because it showed me that I'm not just the only one, because sometimes you feel like you're the only one in the fox, you're the only one in the space where you're trying to navigate life by yourself, not realize that you have people out there that are still also looking at how to make things happen. So I'm telling you from my own opinion, that conversation still sticks to me, and I think me still communicating with you, that is the one conversation I go to. And we've had multiple conversations over the past 1 year, but I still go back to that very first conversation, because it has said something that was supposed to be meant for like a let's just come and see what we want to do.
I think for me, it's where it bettered the version, like for the podcast, passion for it, because I didn't actually have the clue I have to go about podcast, but actually put me on, and then even giving me a reason like to go ahead with this new one at the show, because Gen Z fit. I'm not going to say it was fallout, but for me, I think it's me growing.
You know, the funny thing, I remember when I was doing the wrestling talk at Sports Jedi Network,
you asked me
on a live show, and that was like the very first time, because we were just talking about it. I think you wanted to start your own, and we just, I'm like, okay, before you launch, come up here and let's talk about it. And it was so funny because I remember that episode so well. I think I did a post about it on TikTok. I'm gonna try and check that out. But like, I love the fact that you were the first ever live guest. You and Kimmy, Kimsey. Yeah, you and Kimsey were the first guys I had at the live show. Yeah, I used to do a live show at Sports Jedi Network, and we used to do broadcast the show here from Nigeria, 12 p.m. but 7 a.m. over there. It was a morning show. Good Morning Wrestling. Yes, that was like a Good Morning Wrestling, and they gave me the routes to have guests on that necessarily not talk about wrestling, but more of like because wrestling we connect with so many things, music and pop culture, everything. And I remember you have been coming on the live show, and we talked about everything. But how was that moment for you? Because that was something also different for you too. You had to set that up. You had to get Kimsey to you, and you're able to get that done. Like, how was that particular? Because I think we've not even talked about that particular day.
For me, it was like my first experience, and working with the team. Like, I still remember my friend, guy behind the scene, Emmanuel.
It's right now I'm like crazy. Why I remember mine vividly was because I remember like always like cause something will always happen. Technical difficulties, network. But I love the fact that we're still connected, and I tried to give you the shades then while we're communicating. They were like, huh? Why is this speaking too much English? I'm like, where all this English from the come? But it was still, but for me, I took that. It was so fun. I love because that was another aspect because it was a live show. I was at that point. I was getting produced. The owner of the channel was on the call. He was seeing everything. He was texting me. So I'm focusing on you. I'm focusing on what I need to do. I'm also checking what he has to do. And then you could have the liberty of like playing and pausing. It was just a whole lot. And trying to navigate a live show. And I'm really grateful that you're able to join the this thing. So talk more on the decision to come over to helLOMedia to bring your new podcast, and how did we, I know obviously I know the story, but like from your own was like, how did we end up where we are doing this story, we are doing this podcast here. And I think for the very first time, your show will be one of that's the only show on our channel that will get to be on 3 different YouTube channels at the same time. But to get the audio version, it will only be on helLOMedia's Spotify, Apple Podcast, wherever this is your podcast. But the virtual version of Out the Shell podcast with Zek Miles would be we're going on helLOMedia, be collaborated with Spotify Network, and also on the Gen Z podcast. So like, talk to us about the Gen Z podcast and how we are ranked here with you now starting your solo podcast with Out the Shell.
Okay. The idea actually came with my friend Kimsey.
Okay.
So we had to brainstorm. She said something about it mirrored around like Christian life. You know, growing up as a child, most people don't like feel comfortable sharing things with their parents, but they feel more comfortable with their peer group, like people their age mate, their friends. So we the Gen Z, the podcast is where like you feel comfortable, where you share your problems, and at least we have people like you. We don't feel like, oh, we're going to like judge you. We're not judgy. We just okay, not like we're experts. Just like we have gone through that phase of life, and it's just like, okay, this is me sharing my own experience with you, and so at least you don't have to experience the same mistake I did. At least just use mine and just scale through of life, because sometimes people, I'm not saying people are so stupid. I'm just saying sometimes there might be a solution for this problem, but you choose to be a Nigerian, you choose to be a Thomas, you want to actually experience life your own. Meanwhile, you would have used this person's solution and scale through life and be ahead of life a little bit.
Yes.
And not being daft to want to experience life, because most people are just too dumb at it. So if only I had like the resources most people have, but I'm saying most people are privileged, but I will not be like, you see, all fingers are not equal, and there's time for everything. Maybe my own time is coming, I don't have to like rush into it. And like a friend of mine said, the reason people do ritual is, okay, they say the reason people do ritual is like to fasten their time. If they were to get wealth at 50 years or like 50 years, that's what the ritualist does. Is it brings like the wealth early and now quick, and shortens your age. So let's say we have this vision, or this or God shows us this image that this is it, so timing, maybe say 2030, maybe 1st of January 2030, that's when your breakthrough is going to come. You as a person, you live carefree life now. Yeah, even if you're suffering, you just say, let me just hang on to it. But life, God does not work like that. Yeah. So he does things his own way, is actually mysterious. He does not do things like a human being. So unlike a ritualist or Babalo, how did they call a man who got taught?
Alex would know about.
So he gives you this fairy tale life, like in real life. He gives you a plot of gold that the devil takes. The devil gives you this, and the other hand he stretches and take the other thing. But most people don't see the harm done. They're like, okay, what's life living like here, and I'm not enjoying life.
So are you saying right now the Gen Z Effect podcast is not totally gone? It's just on a pause.
Yeah.
All right. So I think I will need to do a little bit of tweak, because what people do is try to navigate what the young people go through in real time with a podcast. That was
The aim,
the goal, the
vision.
impact, the vision, the why you did that podcast. So let me take something from, like, 'cause I believe this question is what you people would have done there. So in terms of like the current times, how the young people are going through it, in terms of like we know, like everybody now knows how to get there now. Like everybody knows the way. You made mention of the Babalawo style, you made mention of like the ritual style. It's the playbook is there. Would you want to activate it? That's just the question that everybody has to navigate. Will I be able to afford this? Because we know all of the crazy things. We hear stories of like, somebody will go get the rituals done. They're not to sleep on your bed. You don't sleep on your bed. So you see somebody with all of the riches and they sleep on the ground. Like you have to sleep on the bare floor, and you're not supposed to sleep, like you're not supposed to sleep cover, like you don't sleep for may they break. And you see all these things people have to go through, or like, you get the money but you don't eat good food.
No, sacrifices people.
So these are all of the things what, like, and you're like, so sometimes like, why? Okay, I know that you might not know about what your own verdict might be, so you just be fingers crossed. It might not be good, but maybe my own should be better. So it's just all of those craziness. And we know about the other one. There are various means, or is it in the betting side of things, gambling? There are ways to negatively, in a negative light, go get this thing quick. And everybody knows about the effects, right, of what this thing does. Why do you still think most people still do it? Because I feel like, because you hear things like, what is that without? Because it's a whole lot. Now, I think I've even worded the question wrongly. Let me re-ask the question in a way that says, how does somebody in this modern time, like in 2026 right now, a young person, be able to navigate life, understanding that I just cannot afford to do whatever I'm supposed to do now to get it quick, and still stay in their own goal. Okay, whatever it has to take, maybe obviously it might take me longer, it might take me working too much harder that I might not want to do. How do you see other people succeeding? You know how they're getting it done, and you just can't afford to get that done. What do you do what does a young person at that time do?
For me, my best advice is like, whatever you're doing, you should find purpose in what you're doing, because the moment you drift away, you not see any reason, and the moment you don't see any reason, that's when your mind shifts, and once it shifts, it goes to the negative side, and that's where you want to get rich quick. But let's say now you focus and you have a business, and so time, if I should invest this certain amount of money, I'm getting this out. I know that your friend might, because one thing about getting rich is just like you have these resources, but you cannot like handle it. That's one thing about like being rich quick at an early age. You're now capable of handling things. Let's say you a newborn baby, you give the baby a bucket of.
That's like the first time.
So it's going to is going to like push the bucket, break the bucket. It cannot like handle this situation. It's too much. That's why most time I now understand why our parents say that sometimes you don't. How do you say now? Adage, little child's money used to buy toy. I mean, cat. When the cat goes, cat runs away. That's just life. So sometimes we are like, we are overwhelmed with a lot of things that we are not supposed to.
I know, because what I try to do here is try to like bring practical terms and like real stories, real like how to really do it. For you talk about like investing, getting a business and everything. What about somebody that doesn't even have the money to start with? What do they do? What are the steps? What do they need to do like in your own terms? Like what? Because now I can ask a lot of people, like, I know you said you left home early, right? You left home early and I would not think you leave home without having a plan. Maybe you will left without having a plan. But like when for someone that doesn't even know how to start, they don't even have the everything. What do you think you need to? What's that the first step they need to do?
Okay, for me, I'll say you should like find something you're passionate about doing. Even
That
if,
brings
even
money.
yeah, even if it does not for me, even if it does not bring
But they want to
money.
survive.
No, for just for now. There's one thing Gigi used to say.
But, Zeke,
Let me finish. Gege said something about this content. He said, reason why a lot of people are like imitating him, like Gege of Akwa Ibom Gege. I mean, people are trying to imitate Gege. He said he's trying to like show the world that you don't need to like have to go to a studio. You don't need like the best camera in the world. You don't need like better background. If you see people imitating Gege, they are like standing like they don't really need much.
because it's giving the playbook of like just do it.
Just do it. It's giving them that courage that you don't need to have everything. You just like start with what you have. That's just like life of a hustler. If you're waiting to have everything, you might not even start it. You'll be saying when it's ready. Like you want to build a house, like you're a hustler, you maybe money, you just cash out. You get, and you tell yourself that okay, you want to build a house as a young nigga, so you get free of, don't think of rent. You actually acquire a land, and maybe you should be thinking of maybe each month whenever you have money, because street money they come you get now once. So the next thing you should be doing now, maybe each month I should like maybe buy 100 bag of cement. If you keep asking yourself, maybe should I have 10 million now before I bust the move?
You will never do.
One thing, I had this conversation with Guru Tech. He said that before he completed his house, he said he did it little by little, and I'm sure it's done. I'm sure he actually inspired me. He said, Zek, you don't have to like wait till when the time is right, because you might not know when the time is right.
It might never come.
Now Nigeria we do.
It might never come.
Now Nigeria economy, I be had the call and T-pain. So you just have to find something that you're passionate about, even if you're not earning at that time. But as long as you keep your mind positive, you be rest assured that you might not have room for negative thoughts. At least if you have a positive mindset, where do you have the room for get rich quick scheme? Because that time you're preoccupied with positive things. Either you're hitting the gym, or you focus on building yourself, or you learning skill. At that time that point you're just excited. Even me doing this content, it's not like it's paying me at the moment. I know maybe at some point,
because you have a playbook, you have a goal, so like somebody here is saying that like, oh, at least it's easy for him to say it. Yeah, look at him, he's in the studio now. But we all know that it did not start with you being in the studio. So like, could you take us back to like the moments where I believe you people are two in the family? Yes, that.
I think no, we're four.
Okay, so you have
I have an elder brother and an elder sister.
You know, I've always known you.
Just me and my sister.
Because that's the only, and you just talk about the, so could you tell us like give us more in depth about like the family, the structure, the dynamic?
Okay, my elder brother is the first.
Yes.
My elder sister is the second. I'm the third. There's the last
And
one.
then your last one is the sister.
Yeah.
It has always been as if you and your sister just have like the whole clique of like it's just the two of you and all of that. Was that like a strategic thing that it just happenstance?
For me, I'll just see if there's no reason for me to like bring out the other person into the picture. There's no point of bringing the person.
Are they in your life?
Yeah, they're in my life. It's just like now saying, people normally ask me, you don't talk about your dad that much. Well, it's only when he requires my dad, then I might talk about him. If it requires my mom, I'll talk. I cannot just keep.
But all these people are in your life?
Yeah, they're still in my life.
Oh wow. So like in terms of the mindset, you talked about I know, yes, this is a part of a content that you can piggyback off like from your own podcast. Yes, I did this podcast, you might have to go check that out. That was unique for me because I'm always the one asking the questions, and yeah, I was being given the questions. But like Because I think one of the things I took from that sit down was when you talk about that, like I had to leave home early and we had a conversation, you talk about like your auntie coming in, so I was like, oh wow, I can't wait when I finally get to be podcast with you, ask you about that moment. So talk to me about, because there's someone right now watching or maybe listening, and maybe they're about to take a job, like I want to leave home, I don't have a plan, or maybe I might have a plan, but I feel that the right thing to do is to leave. So like talk to me about the thing about leaving, the thing of you wanting to leave. Why did you want to leave? What did you have a plan? What was the goal? And even when the decision of like, because from what I was gathering while you were communicating, we honestly talked about podcast, I could not really go in depth because you had to steer the wheel. But now I have the wheel. So I'm like, what to do? Like, was there kind of like an obstruction? Like, let's come and no, Zeke, you're not supposed to leave.
Well, the only obstruction that would have been there was when my mom asked me how like cook with food, because I cannot cook. Even I just cook my rubbish and I'm okay with it.
Is that Alex? I think there's Alex on the line. That's Alex on the line.
Because that was the only thing that would have actually made me stay back home. But I just told myself that should, even the day I left home, my mom said, are you sure you want to leave? She even joined me now when she knew I'm like serious about leaving. She escorted me to the market and I got some few stuff for her. So that was when I knew that okay, she's in support.
How was the first couple of months staying there? Cooking your rubbish, more like what Alex does.
My beans was always salty.
Oh damn.
And the house I collected was you know, this African magic kind of thing that you sing Wamo.
So when you cook your rubbish, you eat your rubbish?
I eat my rubbish, and the house I collected then, I was having like leakage from the zinc. So when I come back from school, I used to keep buckets, the bed. So when I come back like from school, bed is soaked. I was just I'll say, who sent me make a come up for house? All this kind of stuff. But at least for me, it was like life challenge.
Yeah, you are like these have been 4 years. You navigated your own. Okay, you used to come back, and one time was let me tell you about mine. Where if rain falls, I am worried because the rain enters my house. It passes through my house. Like toilet. My house is the passage for all the rainwater. So whenever rain falls, I'm like, oh shit, when I was ever carry my house. You go over and so it's one of those things that wow, you're grateful like how far we've come. I don't feel, I know for sure I'm not where I want to be, but I feel like I'm able to be where I want to be. So it's one of those crazy scenarios that I would have loved to ask. So now, Zeke, like the whole crazy thing of wanting to understand what happens with you being part of this part of like you understanding. I think this question I always want to like palette up the guest. What have you understood about money?
Money?
Yes.
For me, the hard truth about money is just don't be in a situation that you stop earning. You should stop earning, because the most darkest place a man can ever find himself is in a situation that he's not expecting money. He doesn't even know where the next money is coming. But you are debiting yourself a bank account. You don't have hope of tomorrow or paycheck. You're just there. You're surviving on the one you already had. That's the darkest place of a man. So for me, I would say, if you have money, try to make it to be like more like a passive income, where even if you don't work, even if you're sleeping, your money works for you. But in Nigeria here, it's kind of like difficult to make that come true, because with the economic challenges, people like tend to go to business. There's a friend of mine, he said till he die, you're not going to venture into business again. Why? He said he prefers just staying at home, let him eat his money done. He said, I told him, okay, he said he now gamble money, he prefers to gamble money. And I now told him, so if you prefer to gamble money, is it not better you risk your money in business? At least that one is like a reasonable kind of way of like gambling, because business is like gambling. You putting in your resource, you don't actually show up like if the outcome will be good. That's why I say entrepreneur It's like the risk bearer. You're bearing your risk.
And it's gambling in sports and everything. You are gambling with the business.
Yeah. So for me, I rather gamble with business because for me it's a legit way. Because if you should portray gambling, like let me say lottery and gambling with business, someone that is sane enough would actually pick with business, gambling with business, because you're like you have the upper hand that even if you don't make profit, at least you might break even.
Yeah.
But in bets, if you don't make profit, there's nothing like you're breaking even.
Yeah.
That's a loss.
That's crazy.
You know what? Doing a solo episode at the Chronicle Podcast is so. Oh, you never know what to expect in the Chronicle Podcast. Wow. Drip and play. They sent us a gift. Wow. Elevate your look, dominate the game. Let's see what they got for us. Our friends at Drip and Play always sending us things. Sorry for interrupting the episode, but we need to inform you that something great is happening here in the city of Calabar. They can send it to you nationwide, so don't worry about how am I gonna get the thing. I love what you people have. I love this look. What is this? Let's see what we have. Oh wow, this is something very unique. I like the details. If you're someone that loves something that is unique, this is for you. And I love how they know what I might like. I love this brand. They know what to do. This is incredible. What is this? Okay, this is for my sports people that love sports. The embroidery is not even embroidery, like it's done in it. And I know I'm interrupting your episode, but with all I'm trying to say, these are the kind of packages you get. Tell them you are from helLOMedia. Sam the Lion sent you the Chronicle Podcast, all the episodes you have here. So Drip and Play, their QR code for their WhatsApp, their QR code for their TikTok is available here. Their numbers are displayed here. I'm trying to get that ready. Please support Drip and Play. Go check them out, and they actually send it to you nationwide. Back to the episode.
You know, I know you understand what it means to be independent.
Is it? Yeah, I do.
You've had your fair share of it 4 years now, staying up by yourself.
Yeah.
And navigating all of this. So for anybody watching right now and someone that has listened to you all this while, and this is someone is out there going through some stuff and going through it by themselves, and for some reason they feel nobody can relate to it, because we have that moment where we're like, there's no matter how I explain this to somebody, I just feel like you would never ever understand. What does someone like that, have to do? Because
the truth is there. We are always lying to ourselves. No matter how you feel depressed or you feel like this thing you're going through, only you can understand. Is they are just lying to yourself, because you see that chapter in your life that you're feeling like you're the only one passing through. There's someone there that already, like, if the person tells you his or her own problem, you just console yourself and say, "Come on, my own problem now beans." The truth is, the one you are complaining about, if you hear the other person's own, you'll be happy with your own problem. You pat yourself in the back, and you'll now be wondering how that person is now surviving. You might even see that person surviving. Then when you have a conversation with that person, you now be like, that person they go through. I've had that kind of conversation with someone. Me, I'm thinking that my own is the worst. Okay, let's read this Alex Ekobo. Sorry for bringing up. I think he's late now.
He's late now.
Someone said that man, he died successfully, like as a man.
He died successfully.
Yeah.
Oh.
Apart from the part, I don't know if he had kids or family, but as a man, he achieved everything he wanted to be the person he is before.
Did he say that he?
No, like from the looks of things, as like a man.
That
yeah. In terms of,
was this you having a conversation with somebody?
No, like me, like looking at his life from my own perspective.
You looked at it and you're like,
he's a complete man.
You feel like he's a complete man.
Yeah, despite.
Why would you say
for
that?
me, he died at the age of I think 40 something.
Yeah, 40 something.
His I think his rich or wealth, and then at least he was able to like live the life he wanted, because he didn't die poor. He didn't die. Not saying he died famous. He didn't die like he's dead. At least people knew, and people are like, oh, at least he made impact in life. His friends, despite I don't know if he told his friend about sickness or the problem he had?
I don't want to dabble into something I don't really have full information of, but from what I heard of, what I know, what it is that this someone that has been, yes, because I remember very well, was AY's real name. AY put out a post on Instagram talking about how, I think he was addressing Nigerians, addressing fans, and also talking about the thing of like, someone like him by the name Alex was able to be in the same industry that all of them are, and nobody knew that he was battling something like that. That we don't talk more about people internalizing things. That's why as crazy as that might sound, it's still happening. Somebody's still out there keeping things, but nobody's having accountability right now. So how will you think that someone like this is, going through all of these things that they have to go through, and they're going through it by themselves? And I think it just piggyback off what I just asked you, like for someone out there that just don't know how to navigate doing it without themselves alone, what do they do? What are the practical steps? How do they start finding ways to have accountability partners? How do they start to try? We're not saying trust everybody. I feel like I've had this conversation of like trust up and down all throughout this year with all the conversations I've had. It's just not really easy. But for someone that wants to be like, yes, I know that it's not easy, but I want to try. What are the first steps to get back, try to build trust with people? Not in the way that you're actually totally giving yourself away, but in a way that says, I understand that I need somebody.
First of all, you have to communicate with that person, strike a conversation. If you our God tells us if it feels right. So just like you are catching feeling for someone, and you're trying to fall in love or grow in love, you definitely, your mind will tell you. There's just like how I met you 2025. I just felt like, okay, I should share this with you, and I felt like I gave you everything I had inside of me. I did not even hold back anything.
If that conversation was recorded, I think that would be the most amazing.
So you see, at that point now, I just felt like I should trust you. At that point, I didn't have anything to hold back. So there's some conversation you might have with someone, and you just feel like, okay, you should pour it all out. So just let your instinct speak for you, or choose the person you should open up to, and not just go around, because they say be careful what you tell people, because you don't know what that person tomorrow, you might not be friends with that person, and boom, that person might use it against you. Now just how life be.
Well, talk about be careful what you say to people, choose where you need to go. Zek Miles, you chose helLOMedia, you chose the Sports Media Network, you chose the Gen Z Effect. Now Out the Shell is coming on to these 3 channels and everything. What can we expect from this your podcast? Are you locked in for real? And what are we supposed to expect from your show? Will we be expecting interviews? Will we be seeing you solo? Will you be trying to do something outside the space? What can we expect from Out the Show? Out the Show.
I'll say I'm not saying I'm good with being consistent, because I cannot give kudos to myself. I'll just say I'll go with the flow, honestly. But I'll try as much as I can, to beat myself, surpass what I did with the Gen Z Effect.
I know I don't like breaking the fourth wall. Obviously, I like breaking the fourth wall. That's why people know Alex without even seeing Alex. But seeing the people all in the room. Yeah. This is the first time that I believe you would be have this other one. Yeah. So if you say you want to do more than you ever did with the Gen Z Effect,
I think this is a bigger step for me.
I think the best thing I want to, if I'm trying to push out any advice, is you take advantage of every person here, even including the studio head we met. I mean, you go around networking, you shake hands, you introduce yourself, you put yourself in, so that someone like that might, maybe one of the main photographer might say, I know be you, we should come something for this thing. Someone can help remind you. Even a person that did the haircut will be like, oh wow, you did not come to come do haircut, you don't need to choose product again. I think what I'm trying to say in all of this is that you need to have this mindset where you are personally trying to inculcate people into your life, the ones that will help help you stay consistent. That's why the man behind the camera, Alex, I give him shit so much because the way he even came into us doing this was so funny. Like, to me personally, I was never supposed to be. I met Alex by accident. That's what I always tell myself. I met Alex by accident, but it was how he handled the meeting and everything. And they threw me. We went for a movie premiere. They threw me on the red carpet just instantly, and nobody was there to help shoot and everything. I just went, "Wow, Alex, will you be able to?" And he did not even say anything. He started shooting, and then Alex picked up the phone and microphone to shoot that red carpet. He has not stopped shooting, shooting me, and he's still doing it. And it's one of those things that I'm like, we need to take advantage of situation when we see something. If we feel it's good, if we know how we can be valuable to somebody, let's try and do that. And I think you are like on the right. I believe you are literally on the right track because I've had conversation with you. I've seen you try to in your element. I've seen you've had multiple fails. You've had multiple failures. You literally had your own success too, and I know for sure you're going to share that on your podcast. So I'm trying to be respectful because obviously we'll be checking in with you. We'll be seeing how the growth goes. But sincerely, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. And for our final question, if this was to be the last sitting you ever had, the last conversation you ever had, what would you want someone like me and anybody watching you or listening to you right now to never forget about Zek Miles?
I'll say just keep pushing. Just keep pushing, honestly, because the moment you give room for like your failure to take over your life, you just like you feel like life isn't worth living. And the moment you feel like that, for me, you're a dead cop. For real. So just keep pushing. No room for negativity. Just do more and do more positivity. That's it.
It's Mental Health Awareness Month, the month of May. I was excited bringing out, ladies and gentlemen, Zek Miles. Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast. I really appreciate you being here.